so excited to be here, to be back in Chicago, where I lived for more than 15 years. And I'm excited to be representing Mattel. We have a large cross-functional Mattel delegation at Circularity this year, so we're all really excited and energized to be here. And if you aren't familiar with Mattel before last summer, summer 2023, that's understandable. But after that, I assume everyone is pretty familiar with Mattel, thanks to this lovely lady right here. So clearly, we have a knack for sparking timely, culturally relevant conversations. We're a leading toy and entertainment company. We have a strong portfolio of brands. In addition to culturally relevant conversations, though, we also have a deep legacy of trust. So we've likely played a role in many of your lives at key developmental stages. I mean, who doesn't remember racing a Hot Wheels down a loop-de-loop or dressing up your historic American Girl character doll? Or even waiting for your opponent to say Uno before you throw down that draw four. That's a really iconic moment. That's exciting. At Mattel, we're driven by our purpose to empower all generations to explore the wonder of childhood and to reach their full potential. And when I think about these brands, I think about legacy, I think about nostalgia, I think about these as companions, these games, toys, experiences. For so many of us, they feel like home, and it's really hard to imagine our lives without them. For me specifically, Fisher-Price played an enormous role in my childhood home. I apologize for this very terrible photo, but this is my adorable sister, and Fisher-Price toys littered our homes for my siblings and I, and they brought us so much joy over the years. As we've been hearing today, there are big changes that need to happen to help us evolve. And as my fellow speakers have talked a lot about, there's some big changes, novel collaborations, big ideas that are going to help us get to a more circular future. That hope is so critical, and hope can also be sourced by looking within. Sometimes it's the elements that are best known that are the building blocks towards that evolution that we know we need to achieve. And I think that one of the most important building blocks is trust. Because we, all of us, as consumers, are tasked with a lot these days. We're acutely aware of a global waste crisis that we feel overwhelmed by and frustrated by the lack of viable solutions at scale. There's also climate anxiety, which is now a literal health condition. And according to the Lancet survey from 2021, 75% of young people and children find the future frightening because of climate change. That's a devastating statistic. That means that 3 out of 4 kids and young people are literally afraid of the future when they should be learning, growing, and playing. So in this era of fear and confusion, consumers need trusted support and guidance. They need help to make better decisions. So how do we show up for our consumers in this unprecedented time, while also allowing them to have these toys and experiences that have shaped so many of our lives? This is where sustainable design and circularity enter. It's one powerful way brands can help our consumers be sustainability heroes. And it's one way that Mattel wants to empower our consumers and our fans in this complex, uncertain era so they can approach it with confidence and courage. At Mattel, we have an approach to sustainable design that begins with positioning each toy to meet a consumer's particular need. This allows us to design products starting with the why. So whether that need is emotional or more functional, and then how long we expect that toy or that product to be in play. This allows us to then place the product on a spectrum, instigating certain levers of circular design. So whether that is lower impact materials, ease of disassembly, new experience models for a toy. All in all, we have 8 to select, depending on where that toy lands on that quadrant. So for example, products that are more moment-specific, culturally relevant in the moment, they might be designed to excite. Products that are loved for the long haul, maybe they'll be admired on a shelf in an office like a collectible, those are designed to treasure. Products that are really practical, and they serve a certain developmental phase of life for a child. Those are designed for engagement. And lastly, products that are tough and that are going to be loved for the long haul and hard are designed to be durable. And for my family, for decades and decades. My son's favorite toy is this Fisher-Price circus train that was first bought in 1978. It was well loved by my siblings, myself, my nieces, my nephew, and now it is a permanent fixture in my home with no sign of going anywhere. This is Mattel's legacy, and this is why so many of our consumers and our fans trust us with their most precious moments. And this is why we're working hard to build on that trust and to grow with our fans and our consumers. This is the new era of trust that brands must elevate to. They must step back from being the aspirational hero, and they must empower their consumers and their fans to be the hero instead. At Mattel, we're on a journey. We approach this with enthusiasm and humility, and we look forward to deepening that trust by innovating and partnering with our consumers, our heroes, for decades to come. Thank you so much.
Thank